Hi, this is another demonstration of the Bibble plugin Brenda. This time we'll work on a landscape image. I've got the histogram here and the Brenda plugin control panel here, and the image is over here. And this one is quite underexposed to start with. I'm going to use the Bibble exposure control to bring its exposure up to where it should be, so just keep an eye on the histogram while I do that. Just about that far, I think. I'll turn on the highlight checker just to make sure that I haven't gone too far. Now looking at the white areas on top of the building, I just want to make sure that those aren't blown out. There. So now the exposure is where I'm comfortable at. Now looking at this image, it looks a little bland, shot in full sun. What I want to do is, first off, I want to bring up most of the highlights. You can see that over here on the histogram there's not a whole lot in the highlight area, so I'll start off in Brenda clicking on white and then bringing the lightness up by just taking a tap or two on that. So that looks okay. You see I've got more highlights over here in the blue area. The sky is lit up. Looking at the sky, it seems a little drab and washed out, so I'm going to click on the blue sky patch here. And I'll just enhance the color of that by clicking over once or twice on color. You see how the blue is just getting a little bit richer there. I want to take some of the green foliage here and make it a little bluer, because I'm not happy with the kind of the dull greenness of it. So I'm going to adjust that just a bit by tinting the greens. You can see how they're a little bit more green now. I'm going to also enhance their color, just make them a little richer, so I'll shift color out a little bit more there. So something like that. So I'll just click the foliage control here off and on again so you can see the difference that made. Now looking at the red bricks, I want to kind of intensify that color a little bit too. I'm going to use the map function so I get a good idea of which patch I should be using. So that's here. You can see how that it has now changed to sort of a paint by numbers effect. And it looks to me like the bricks are closest in color to patch 11 here, which is actually the dark skin patch. I'm going to go ahead and use the moderate red patch anyway, because that's kind of where I want them to wind up. So I'm just going to, I clicked on moderate red, now I'm just going to enhance the color of those moderate reds here, just push it a little bit further, and maybe just change the color a little bit. Just make it a little deeper, a little bluer. See how that looks. So turn it off, turn it on again. I'm not really getting the effect that I want there, so perhaps I should use that dark skin patch instead. So I'll turn off moderate red and click on dark skin, and then click the enhance the color patch there. Now I'm starting to see changes in the bricks that I want. So it is useful to look at the patch map to make sure that the patch you're editing is going to do what you want it to do. So I'll turn that off and on so we can see the effect now. It's looking pretty good. I want the sky blues to be a bit deeper, so I'll richen that up, just adding a bit more color there. I'll add a bit more color to the bricks, just a little bit more there. I guess overall the color areas of the image look pretty good, but the shadows are kind of lacking in punch. So I'll click on the black patch here, and then I'll just take the lightness of that down. You can see how the histogram has reacted quite dramatically to that. I think that's probably too far. It's just a little too dark, so I'll stick with minus 0.5 on lightness. Then I'm going to take the medium grays here, probably patch 45, which should be this color's down here. Let's just verify that with the map. Yeah, this dark gray here is so that's actually patch 44. So I'll click on patch 44 and take the lightness of that up just a little bit more, because I wanted some contrast in the blacks, but I don't want it to be too deep. So let's have a look at how the blacks worked. Pull the blacks down a little bit more. And looking at that, I think I'm fairly happy with it. It doesn't look exaggerated. The colors have kind of popped out a little bit. Looking at these two little guys down here with their red jackets, it looks like I just want to kind of pop them out a little bit more, and that's probably going to be the red patch. So I'm going to enhance the color of the reds just a little bit more, just to bring them out. And you see how they've just come out just a little bit there. So turn it off and turn it on again. It's probably hard to see in the display here. But I'm pretty comfortable with how this looks. So let's just see how it looks overall. Here's the changed one, and here's the original. You can see that the changes I have applied aren't dramatic, and that's intentional. I wanted to make an image that looked fairly authentic, but I wanted to alter the color such that it looked, more vibrant, more interesting. And just so we see what effects Brenda has made on the color space, let's click on chart, and you can see here you've got, for example, these are the midtones. You can see how these lines are all warped, and they show you how we've altered the reds and other things like that. And if I just pan the camera a little bit here and zoom in, if it'll let me do that, you can see how we haven't changed the darks too much except for deepen them. Looking at the medium dark patch, you can see here we've altered the reds quite a bit, sort of enhanced their saturation. Looking at the other patch up here, made some changes to the blues. You can see the sky tones were mostly the effect of that, and not too many changes in the highlights. Mostly just enhancing their brightness, just lightening them up a little bit. So that's what we've done with Brenda.